Control break statements is our topic. Whenever we write a code, if you want to pull multiple lines from a table, from a work area, we will use loop. And if you want to pull a single line from a table, from a work area, we will use read. Read is for internal tables and select is for database tables. So for multiple lines, we will use loop. For single line, we will use read. Okay. Now let's write a program. Let me just okay. Now we are going to write a program which will show material in sequence, and will show a description, okay, and quantity and price. This is what we are going to write. Okay. So let me add the code. ZT ZT53 underscore 06 Jan for statement. Save local. Okay. Begin of TY mact, which will have material number, language description, and this data type will be over. Data is IT mact type standard table of TY mact, structure TY mact. So internal table and work area, both have been defined. WA mact, which is work area mact, material number will be 100, language will be E, mac text will be, let's say, soap, quantity 1, amount will be 10, append work area to IT mact. Whatever data work area will have will be offloaded into IT mact. Okay. And one thing we have not yet, quantity type I. Yes. Amount type I. Okay. Check. Matner 100. After appending, we will add one more record. Matner 100. This will clash with this one. Matner spras e test. Test will be okay. Test will keep test. quantity 1, amount 10, append WMAC to ITMAT. Okay. So if there will be a conflict, as long as okay, append is basically nothing but add, because we cannot access internal table and write into the internal table directly. So that's why we use work area. That's why we have defined internal table and work area. So work area is basically working area for internal table. So internal table is untouchable directly, manually. Only work area has the right and access to internal table. That is the logic. So whatever is fed into work area goes into internal table internally through ABAP using append. Append is add. Okay. Append is adding record data to internal tables. Okay. Now moving forward. So if you use append on sorted table, it works as long as there is no conflict. But in our program, there is a conflict of Matner. Okay, there is a conflict because it's the same. So in conflict, runtime error will be made. So a unique key is already initiated. It will encounter error if is append to trying a new record with the same value of key. Now, what do I mean by key? Matner is key. Why Matner is key? Because let me show you why Matner is key. SC11, Mat and Matner. MAKT, display. Okay, Matner, key field. So any duplication of material number which is unique and it encounters a duplicate, it will give you a runtime error. Okay, so how we can avoid it? We use insert command. Okay, so if there is an insert command instead of append, then there will be no conflict with material number over here. If we use insert instead of append. Okay, so in a standard table, append and insert. Let me just add this. This will become reference. In standard table, append, insert, syntax adds a line at the end of the table. Okay. So what we are actually making is, let me just paste it here. And I'm going to select this all, control. How did I do this? I did it with control plus this sign. And it actually selects it and deactivates it. So we are writing logic in the same program. Okay. Let me Matner 200, Matner 300, brush, paste, brush, and we are adding amounts and quantity is the same. Okay, this is the logic. This is the logic. And over here, we'll add the breakpoint. Values of MAKT. Okay. Now, check. No syntax errors. Activate. Okay, Control Shift F12. This is breakpoint. Now we have to add a breakpoint over here. Direct processing. Okay. Double click IT Mact standard table. So it will add records. F5, F5, F5. SC90, SC38, control statement change. I will add another MacText type character 10. Okay. Now, what we'll do here is a change in our program, and that is in 200, 300. Matna 200, e-paste 110, collect WMACT into IT MACT. Okay. Uh, these statements like insert, append, collect are to add records. These statements add records. Okay. So append is deactivated. Append is deactivated, and we will write collect statements. Okay. Okay. We are deactivating this. I want to remove this, but anyways, I'll remove it afterwards. So Matner 300, brush 120, collect, WMACT into ITMACT, same with 400, 100, 200. We will have a conflict with 100. Okay, we will have a conflict with 100. Now, collect command adds to the already available new non-numeric field. Okay, and adds to the numeric fields if non-numeric content is the same. Let me add these comments here. Okay. Collect commands adds to the already available non-numeric field, adds to the numeric fields if non-numeric content is the same. All non-numeric fields content should be similar. Now, let's talk about looping. You can loop internal tables. Okay. You can loop internal tables. You can loop certain statements within internal table to process internal tables. Control break can be applied. Why? Because control break, when we are running loops, just a second. Okay, you can loop certain statement within internal table that we are already making to process internal tables. We'll process the internal because we have already added records over here. So control break can be applied. Control break will be applied on ITMAC and see what loop is basically running and adding the record. Okay, so let me add that. Okay, and loop at ITMAC into WAMAC. Now we are looping all the records. We are running the records in a loop from ITMAC, and that will offload onto work area Mac. At first, now this is a syntax, new syntax. At first, at first triggered system tabix. Now, this is a system syntax, and it will give us the result. We'll execute this. And first is ending with and at. Okay. At last, at last triggered system tabix and at. Okay. Check. MacText already. Okay. MacText type MacText. Check. And loop. Okay. And loop. Loop. Okay. Now activate. Data processing. At first trigger 1, at last trigger 6. So 6 records are there. Okay. So this is actually running. How many records did we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. But I guess it has ignored 100 because there was a conflict in 100, and that's why we have 6. Okay. So this is actually working well. Okay. Now let's add more to our record. So let me add some more notes here that will help you to understand. Okay. So at first and end at are control break statements that we are running in a loop. Can write code in between. We can also write code in this first and last. Okay. First and at, last and at. So we can write the code. At first is first loop. At first and at last can be interchanged. So we can also run at last in at first as well in place of at first. After and okay. Loop at ITMAC. Okay, fine. Now let me write the code. Okay, I have actually written this code. Now let me deactivate it. Okay, because we are going to add more details. Oh, okay. Next is I write this code. Matter 100, 200, soap paste 110, 120, 115, and we have 100 again. So this will add, it should add to another soap because we can buy more soaps like at one time, two soaps. So that is what we are trying to do over here. And this is what the system will actually check. Okay. I will deactivate this loop, or maybe we can check. No syntax errors. Let's run this program with two loops. Activate. At first triggered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5. Okay. 5, 5 because there is duplication. Duplication of what? 100, 200, 400, 100, 300, 200, 400, 300. Okay. And because it is giving double, because it is running loop twice. So let me deactivate this one. Activate. Direct processing. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5. Again, it's giving the same. 400, 300. Loop itmac into wmac at first. This is a loop again. Right at first triggered site tab x at new triggered new spras and at last and at new spras. New is basically when it encounters a new language at last triggered site tab x. Okay. Now our spras is EEEF. This is where it encounters F. Okay. And it has double 100 and 100. Okay. And we have E. At new, it is encountering two records. Okay. Now let me add another part here. Append wmact, and I have added 200 and 400 again. Okay. Activate. So how many records do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Direct processing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, and 2 are duplicates. Okay. At first is triggered, at new triggered, at last triggered. Okay. Okay. Now let me add a breakpoint over here, or maybe no, not here. We add a breakpoint at IT mat. Okay. Direct processing. Okay. IT mat standard table F5, F5, F5. Okay, I want to WMAT. It's running a loop until the records are over. So it will have 7 loops. If you see system tabix 1, 3, now third loop is basically running through the cycle. Okay. F5, I'm pressing F5 and loop. Now it will be now it is 4. Okay, so it is running a loop. So this is basically what is basically was the crux. Now let's move forward with our code. Okay. SE38 change. I hope this is clear. We are going very slow with the logic so that everything actually stands very clear. Okay.
Hello, Moto.
Come on. Come on. I guess it's hanged. Let's take it up in the next session. It's not working right now.